Hi, folks, and welcome to the sixth episode of the Vitor Vicente podcast. Today, I'm having the great pleasure of talking to Ekaterina Zavodun, a Russian artist based in Portugal. Ekaterina, or Catherine, is multi talented and best known for the series of portraits The Road is Wine. You may be wondering how much of wine is her technique about? Well, you can stay with us and you hear directly from her. And I hope you will enjoy this episode and click the like button below. It would be awesome if you could also subscribe to my channel. And I see you in a sec. Hi, Catherine. Welcome to my
Hello.
podcast.
Nice to meet you. Hi.
Nice to meet you as well. Well, I would prefer to meet you over a glass of wine, but unfortunately, I'm in Dublin, you are in Portugal, you know.
And,
But that
and
would be a better setup.
uh-huh. And how does it work with YouTube? Can we drink in front of the camera?
we can,
Okay,
we can. We are.
we have environment. You see?
Oh, that's a good start. That's a good start. I like that. I like that. We couldn't begin better than with your bottles of wine on the background. So it's fine. We can drink. We can talk anything here. We are very open-minded. So no censorship, free speech. That's the things we believe in this
Okay. So
podcast.
I,
So
I can talk a bit bad Russian words.
you can, you can. I won't
Okay.
understand them, but coming from you, I would think they are nice ones.
Okay.
So I was thinking to start this conversation with a different topic, but all of a sudden, as we were doing the prep, you mentioned that the war started 2 years ago, exactly. So
Exactly two
today
years.
is 24th of February, 2022, and you brought this into the table. So I think that's a great way to start this chat. Now, I'm conscious that the actual war didn't start exactly 2 years ago because the conflict has
Yes.
been going on for many years. But
Mhm.
what better person than you to share your thoughts with the audience about what's going on between Russia and Ukraine?
Ah, it's complicated to to say it in several words what is happening between two countries. I can say it's just with one word. It's пиздец, and I have no words really. What can I say? Uh,
Are you happy that you are far from it
hmm?
geographically? Are you happy that you are far from it geographically? That you are
Yes,
a good few
I
hours away
have
and you are not.
that with me. It happened like this. That I you know my story. I stuck here in 2020 in the beginning with pandemic. So yes,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
am I am here, but
yeah.
it's
I would
it's
say
not
that that
really
helps.
good
Yeah.
to see it, to watch it. You know, from the
Mm.
news, from the TV here. It's just I try to do my best to just to be focused on my business.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I can imagine that it might be overwhelming from time to time to see the image of what's happening, the death scale that is just rising over and over again. We don't know exactly what's going on, and there might be lies, from both sides, from the Russians, from the Ukrainians, and also the backlash on people. Because I believe that one thing is the government, other thing is the individuals, and I don't know if were you ever target for being Russian by others, not only face to face, but maybe online, or like is that an issue these days?
Well, I don't. mm, I didn't notice online, but uh, here sometimes, of course, I can understand some Ukrainians. They are just they don't want to talk to Russian speakers, for example. But it's okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
I guess it's a tough situation, and for them it's hard to distinguish, the action from their emotions, and they tend to put everyone under the same basket. No, but, of course, maybe they lost some family
And
members or
especially,
friends.
I'm sorry, especially it's young people, young, but
Mm,
they just decided no, but they don't know my background. For example, my mom, she's from Ukraine, my father from Russia. So, what is in my mind?
yeah,
What is my
yeah.
opinion, and so on.
Mm.
But it is what it is. Let's hope. Let's hope that
Do you
soon.
foresee any end, any agreement, any, I don't know, any way to stop the war, and
I am
Russia can
hoping.
go one way, Ukraine the other one, or it's happening, like it will happen for a long time.
I have no idea what will be in the future, but I really hope and I wish that it will be stopped. At least this crime will stop, and they will
Yeah,
find a way to I don't know, to deal with each other.
yeah.
Fuck, it's just I have no words, good, not let's say polite words to describe.
You cannot be polite when it comes to the war, because they don't really deserve, our best version.
Mhm.
Like the way they act, and they operate, and they share, the stuff with us. I don't think these people deserve much respect. And I'm being honest when it comes to actually Ukraine and Russia. I think that there's a lot of dishonesty. It's very hard to understand what's their uh, um, objective out of the war, because I think at some point, like, they could have made an agreement, but then there was pressure not only from Russia and Ukraine, but also from the international community. So I think there's
Mhm.
much more involved than Russia and Ukraine. Like, you see the US, the EU, China, even Iran, for instance, is
Mhm.
apparently they are supplying Russia with weapons. So it's much more complex than it seems, and yeah, it's hard to follow, I'd say.
Yes, we just have to stay human.
Yes,
That's what we
exactly.
can do.
Yeah, yeah, 100%. Yeah, right. So, okay, let's move on from the war for now. At least we have this ability. We are not geographically affected by the war. Just our emotions are being subjected to what's going on there. So, tell me. So you left Russia in 2020, so during the pandemic, which is some year,
I left
to start
Russia.
a completely new life.
Yes, I left Russia in 2019 in the end of the year,
Hmm.
and then it was just travel, and then I stuck because of the pandemic. Yes, I couldn't go back, and I decided, okay, so it's a sign. I have to be here.
Hmm.
Mm,
So
yeah.
it all happens at the same time. You left the country, and then the pandemic kicked in, and all of a
Mhm.
sudden you found yourself, you know, in the other side of Europe. Did you ever think that you would end up living in a place like Portugal, or like when you were young? Do you remember having this feeling that, oh, I'm meant to be based, I don't know, in Europe or in the US?
Yes, I had some thoughts that I should move, uh, at least from Moscow, because I'm from Siberia. Okay, so
Hmm.
and it was always cold in Moscow also, and I was dreaming that one day I will live in a place where I just need in how to say that the warmest clothes that I will need, it's just a leather jacket. And I was imagining myself like, I am walking down the street, and the weather is nice, it's sunny, and that. So and it happened. And 2 years I was walking, maybe not 2 years, 1 year,
Mm.
pandemic time. I was walking, it was sunny, nobody on the street, so it was nice.
Is the weather that cold in Siberia, or it's just in people's imagination?
No, it's not imagination. it's really it's really cold. Yes, normal. Normally in winter time we had minus 38, minus
Minus
40.
38.
Yes.
And
So
what can you do to protect yourself from extreme cold?
you have to wear really warm stuff
Yeah.
like fur. I don't know if I pronounce it right. Fur coat,
Yes.
you know,
Yes. Yes. Yes.
and some really warm shoes,
Mm.
scarf, chapéu,
Mhm. Hat.
everything.
Yeah.
And scarf like
Yeah.
this because it's always cold
Yeah. Yeah.
here.
It's too extreme. Yeah. Yeah. It's all about clothing, or do you also need to? Because I can see your bottles there, and I'm thinking maybe alcohol can help as well. No?
No, I was living there when I was a child, so I didn't drink. But yes, we to keep the warm, we needed to eat some heavy food.
Mm.
Like if you know the soup borscht, right?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is it helps
Yes. Yeah.
your
Well,
body.
you were young, but the others were not. I presume, like the adults were drinking to cope with the cold, because it's something we do. Well, we also drink to cope with extreme warm weather. Like we drink, let's say, a cold wine or beer. So I think
Mhm,
that there is alcohol that also helps when it's too cold, like especially spirits. At least to me, it's a weapon.
mhm. But I don't know how adults were living there. But I don't remember that my mom or friends of my mom they were drinking just
Mm.
just to be warmer. No, it's
They were
just
just drinking.
just yeah,
Not
normal.
because of the weather. It was just because why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you get into this concept of portraying people using wine? So, like, I can see, and the audience can also see one of the samples from your work behind you, which is,
Yeah.
an amazing piece of art. So it's
Thank you.
really fantastic. How did you get
Thank
into that?
once uh, I, do, I now I just trying to figure out how from what point should I start. Okay, I am architect. So and I used to work like a designer, interior designer. So and I in Moscow we had one place where we could buy some stuff for finishing like wallpapers, flooring, and blah blah. So and once this place were celebrating their 5 years, and all the showrooms there located there in this let's call it shopping center.
Hmm.
They were organized some master classes. For example, like some shops they were invited people to draw on the ceramic and so on. So, and one shop invited people to draw with wine, and they put some references, like examples, so you can draw some landscapes. with wine.
Yeah.
So you see the picture and you can draw. And I was already a bit drunk, and I came to them and I said, "Oh, with wine, let me try." And when I saw these examples, I said, "Can I draw something from myself?" They said, "Yeah, you can do whatever you want." I said, "Okay."
Mm.
Oh, and I drew some, Japanese anime character
Mm.
with the big
Yeah.
eyes, like a portrait. So, and they were surprised. I was a bit surprised because it was with wine, and I even got a free ticket to the cinema because of this drawing. And then my
Well
friend,
done.
she came to that place to pick me up to go somewhere, and I said I was already in a good condition, let's say like that. And I asked her, "Look, stay here. Just give me 5 minutes. I will do your portrait with
Mm.
wine." She said, "Okay, let's do it." And I did some wine sketch really fast, and it
Mm.
turned out that it's really her face.
Yeah.
And she was, "Wow, really?" And I post this image to Facebook. And one friend of mine, he had a wine bar, and he said, "Wow, with wine? Fuck, I want to ask a portrait."
Mm.
And then I was thinking, why not? Maybe I should try it. But this idea, I was living with this idea maybe 2 years because
Mm.
I was continuing to working with my usual work. So, and then when I already came here to Portugal, I was thinking, what should I do? Maybe no. When I tired of my work, architectural work, I decided, okay, I have to make a pause. So
Mm.
I will start just to draw the portraits with wine. I have to start. I have to try. And I started 2 months before I left Russia, and it was just for friends. I just started to draw some faces of my friends,
Yeah.
just like, and then
It's for fun. Yeah.
yes, and then I even did some how to say it, some post in my Instagram, like, let's say the barter, from
Yeah.
you the bottle of wine, from me the portrait. And I had I had uh, the same bottle fans from in my place. So, and when I came here, I decided to continue because what should I do? It's pandemic. Uh, we don't know what will be in the future. Where should I
Yeah.
go to work? I don't know Portuguese language. I am not so confident with my English. So I was thinking, no, let's try. At least I will just enjoy myself
Mm.
to draw, to draw, to draw, to draw, to draw,
Yeah.
and then it started happening with people. People started to ask me, to invite me, and so on and so on and so on. So
Yeah.
now I'm
And
here
it's
in this.
now, yeah. And I think it's now a great success. I can see your Instagram account just growing, like the number of followers. Every time I check
We
your
know each
profile,
other because of this.
not only that, there's something else. Okay. What is it?
Huh?
Is it your charisma?
What? No,
Was it just
it's
like,
my joy.
yeah, I'm pretty sure there is more than just wine. Yeah. But it's a huge success, and so people can just order. They can contact you, say on WhatsApp, Instagram, on your
Yeah.
website, and
Mm-hmm.
you. And how does that work if they want to get a portrait of them uh, from you?
They just have to talk to me, to send me a picture, to send me money, and then
Yeah, the most important thing is the money. Yeah.
No, because I have already wine, so I don't need a bottle
And
of
so
wine.
we don't need to supply with wine. We just need to supply with money and a picture of us.
Yeah.
I'm delighted because in Ireland the bloody wine is very expensive. It's almost as expensive as
Really?
how much you charge the people. Yeah, yeah. That's one of the things I miss from Portugal. This
Mm.
variety, quality, and also cheap wine we avail when we live in Portugal. Because in Portugal you can still, correct me if I'm not updated because I know the prices have increased, but you can still buy a good bottle of wine for, let's say, €5, if not less, but €5 for sure.
Yes.
Yeah. Here, if you are lucky, 15, 20,
Really?
so it's a big difference. Yes, yes. It's not a wine country, this is more about beer here. So it's it's not something that they drink very often. It's more for special occasions. So it's like it's like a fancy drink. So it wouldn't be that easy for you to run the business here. It will be more expensive, or you would have to charge more the clients. You have to add another €20, to cover the margin. Yeah.
Yeah.
So people are contacting you to get their portraits drawn by you using wine, and is it something that is still very popular, or are you exploring other avenues now, or like avenues of creativity?
I don't think it's really popular because people, they sometimes, even when they see my work on the exhibition, they didn't understand that it's wine. I need to talk to them. They don't understand that wine painting. Maybe it's just a color. No, it's made by wine. So um, now what I am exploring is artificial intelligence.
Artificial intelligence. Wow. So
Yeah.
you went from wine to AI. Yeah. And what are you doing on that domain?
Or sometimes, for example, if I want to draw, I need to find some reference, like someone's face, right? And now I just can easily generate a special face that I want for myself for the reference. Like this girl,
Yeah.
it was my idea generated by AI, and I just drew it with wine.
So you are merging
Yeah.
wine and AI. Wow.
Yeah.
That's a mix. Huh? I never thought that the two could get together, but I'll be very keen to see the results.
Yeah.
I mean, I can see one now, but if
For
next
artists
time we meet, if you can
now,
show me more.
it's amazing tool. It's a new tool.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me show you and the audience the portraits you did of myself with a surprise. I hope you won't be too upset with me and you won't walk away from the podcast. So that is me.
Yeah.
So the audience can see the talent of Catherine. So I'm much more handsome in the portrait than in reality. And it was not AI, it was like
Do you
painting
think?
talent. I think so, yeah. And
Okay.
there is a surprise at the end. Can you guess what was that?
Yes, it was your cat.
It was my cat indeed, yeah. But there was a story. It was like maybe
Nice.
a few weeks ago. I was very, very neglective, and I kept this portrait here in my desk. And around 3 a.m., we started to hear our cat going crazy, which is nothing new. Like people who have cats, they know that cats, they tend to be mad at 3 or 4 a.m., sometime during the night. But I thought it was just being a cat at night. But when I woke up in the morning, I realized he was biting the portrait. But he was respectful. Look at it. He didn't bite your signature.
Uh-huh.
It was all around. So he was nice enough. So yeah, we cannot blame the cat that much. I think he put his mark, but he didn't destroy the portrait. He just wanted to be part of it. Though you also did a portrait of my girlfriend and the cat. So at home we all had a portrait here, and of course the cat will have one. It wouldn't make any sense not to have him portrayed by you. Yeah. Talking about respect, when you are asked those portraits, did you ever get some, weirdo request that people are, sending the wrong body part, if you know what I mean? So not the face.
No, no. My audience is really good.
That's positive, because I hear a lot of especially women who are online, and they're artists, and they explore their creativity, and people are not very good at their imagination, so they think they will do something that is not what they are meant to do.
How people call them exhibitionistas.
Exhibitionistas, yes. Exhibitionistas, yes.
Yeah,
exactly.
No. Online, just from people that I don't know, never happened. Some people that I was in touch, yes, it was one accident.
What kind of request was this person expecting?
So I can do. I have an idea that I can do the private session. Okay, if the people want me to draw them in the real time, like in some place, let's say it's photo studio, or because I don't really feel comfortable to go to their places like home to draw. So we can rent some place and I can do some portraits. And I am okay and I am free if the person would like to have some new genre. You understand? You're not naked.
Yes.
Okay, no problem. And one guy, he asked me to do it with his girlfriend. I said, okay, I'm okay with that. I can do some sketches and it will be nice private sexual portraits. Like I don't know. I think it's beautiful and nice. Why not? And I am okay. I can do it. But he decided that it's this conversation. It's about me, like a participant of this action. No, I said no. I prefer to stay an artist. I don't want to join you guys. And
what does he mean, like a participant? Like I got lost in the middle. There's too much going on.
He sent me some pictures of his girlfriend, and then of himself a bit, not a bit. So you know what I mean. He sent me. Let's go things how they are. So he sent me a dick pic, like this is me, and there was. I was a bit confused, and so okay. No, okay, but it's not okay.
Yeah.
And then he said me, and when you finish your work, you can join us. And I said, no, guys, I'm not about this. So this was a conversation. So I had this idea to do some private work, but he went somewhere else. And I said, no.
So he was expecting you to paint them when they were having fun, and then you would join them at some point.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Crazy. People are crazy. But it's better than war.
Yeah, it's better than war. That's for sure. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, yeah. If you have to pick between a weirdo asking you to paint them when they are
Yeah,
having sex and then join them at some point, then going to the war and fight, yeah, for sure. I would pick join at a threesome. I think there are much worse things than that.
yeah.
No?
Oh, hmm.
At least there is a way back. Yeah, yeah. With the war, you never know. Yeah, but I wonder, like, how people can think that we are just not artists. Like, why would we do something sexual? And there's all these myths, I think coming from Picasso and the classical painters, that they were um, having relationships with the models. Do you think it's based on those stories that people hear, or it's just their weirdo fantasies?
Yeah, I think it's both ways.
Ah,
Stories and some fantasies, and they
yeah.
mix it.
And they mix it, yeah, yeah. And then they end up in those requests. And I think people spend a lot of time online, watching um, things that are not connected to reality. Like I have a very bad opinion of porn in general. I think it's misleading. I think it doesn't tell what sex is, and will misinform you of
Yeah.
what is a real connection. Of course,
Hmm.
people end up doing some wild stuff when the door is closed on the bedroom, things that probably we wouldn't share with others. But what is seen on those pages, it's just outrageous. Like, and I think it's very disrespectful to women in general, and it's messing up men's mind because mostly guys consuming. So I'm not, like, from a moral point of view, I'm not against porn, but
Hmm.
I don't think it's doing any good for society, except for those who are making a fortune out of
Yeah,
it. But for the consumer, I think it's just awful.
I agree.
So yeah, we should
I am
we should
on
move on
the
from that.
side of beauty. I like
Mm.
when everything is beautiful.
And I think there is a big difference between what happens on a porn scene and when it's versus when it's led by beauty. Yeah, that's for sure. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mm. Right. So can you, if you wish, of course, can you visit Russia these days, or it's complicated because of the war?
It's complicated for me because I still don't have my residence card of Portugal.
Uh,
I am here already 4 years. It's already beginning the fifth
how much
year.
time do you need to get that permit?
I don't really know, really, because some people they are here only 2 years and they already have it. I am just unlucky, really. With the Portuguese bureaucracy, I am super unlucky person.
Well, you're probably not the only one. It's a nightmare.
I do believe, yes, but so I cannot go anywhere outside of Portugal.
Really?
Okay,
So you
I
are
can
trapped in Portugal.
yes, if I let's imagine I go to Russia, but I cannot
Mm.
go back to Portugal. But I would like to stay here. I already pay taxes here.
Yeah.
I have a business here, so
Mm.
uh,
Do you miss it? Is there anything from Russia that you would like to dispose of?
snow. I would like to see the
No.
snow from the sky. Yeah.
Yeah, and Portugal is not the best place for snow. I mean, there is only a mountain where you can probably get, like, I think, a week or two of snow, and that's it. Other than that, so
Mhm. But I would like. I miss that sound when you
mm.
walk snow. Oof. When it's really cold, like minus
Mhm.
30, and you go and you hear this sound, it's you cannot compare it with anything.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, I can relate to that. Like the idea of walking in the snow, it's almost like an impact on, it can almost impact our heart. It's fantastic. I could only compare to something you can have these days, which is the sound of the waves, which is fantastic.
Oh
When you
yeah.
are in a Portuguese beach and you listen to the waves going back and forth, hitting the coast, it's just amazing. Like I like the Portuguese beaches when it comes to the scenery, the smell, and the sound. That's what I like about it. I find the water pretty cold, especially in comparison with other beaches in Europe. Sometimes they're too wide, and I would rather prefer like cozy beaches, like where you are just there, let's say, with your friends, which is you have to be very lucky for that to happen in Portugal. But the whole thing of walking in a Portuguese beach, even without going to the water, it's just amazing. Or just sit there and see the scenery, read a book, or I don't know, stay with your thoughts. Is it something that you fancy? Because I see a lot of
Yeah. Here,
beaches in your Instagram.
Here I like to be close to the water because in Russia, especially in Siberia, you cannot stay long outside. You can just walk somewhere to enjoy the view, how the snow shining, how it sounds, but you have to go back home or some warm places. And here, yes, I can walk, I can just sit down to see even the Instagram news or book or just to be. This is so nice.
Yeah, it is. It is. Is the Siberia lifestyle very different from other parts of Russia, like Moscow, Petersburg, Vladivostok? Like, is Siberia something specific within the whole scope of the Russian nation?
Oh, it's a complicated question, but it's interesting. I think yes. Moscow, it's. I cannot say that Moscow is Russia. Moscow is just. They are so different. St. Petersburg and Moscow, these two cities, they are different. And Moscow is just a big megapolis where people running. And in Siberia, where should you run? You just enjoy, really. You just go to your work or school. I went to school that time. Then you go home, you eat borscht or something warm, you drink tea, and then I went to my art school. So, and you enjoy with people. So you don't think that you have to do some extra to go from this point to that point, and then. I think most of the cities, Russian cities, they are more calm than, let's say, Moscow. Like Portugal.
Yeah.
Not cold.
Yeah. The capital is always a different story. Like, everyone's going to live there and try to improve their careers, or to go there for studies, or they spend there some time to make money and then go back to whatever place they are coming from. It's always noisy and a lot going on. I think it can be fascinating for a certain period of time, especially when you are younger. That you want this vibe, the nightlife and all that. But as you grow up, like, you would expect more to have your own circle. And they don't necessarily need the capital. Maybe it's good to be close to the capital, like you are in Barreiro. Just for the audience to know, Catherine lives in my hometown, which is just some coincidence. I'm not very familiar with the idea of talking to someone foreign living in the place where I was born and grew up. And there are not many, there's not much foreigners living in my hometown. I know the population of immigrants is growing and at a very large pace, but still, it's still unusual. It's still unusual. Like my parents were saying the other day that in their building where they lived, it's a you can call it a block house, not the Eastern European block house, but it's a block house when it comes to Western European standards. And at the door they have these letters saying keep the door closed for safety. Provide your meter reading. Just for a day-to-day life. And obviously it was always in Portuguese. And the other day they saw it in English. And I was like, no fucking way. Yeah. Because now we have some people living in the same building as us who don't speak Portuguese. They are from some place in Africa. I can't remember. I think it's Ghana or Gambia. I can't remember. And they don't speak Portuguese. For me, it was unreal to think that, in my building, there will be non-Portuguese people. I'm very, no, I have nothing against that. It's just a surprise. It was never in my mind that people will move to my hometown. But why not? Because I think everyone is everywhere these days. And that's the tendency. We live in a global world, so those things are part of the new societies.
Yeah.
How is your Portuguese? Are you able to communicate with others more than just order a glass of wine and thank you very much? So are you able
No. I am a bit more than just a glass of copo de vinho.
How far can you go with conversations with Portuguese? How much in depth can
No, they can order a portrait. That's it. That's what I need. But I'm kidding. No, I don't know. I don't discuss with people some deep things where I need use where I need to use some special words that I still don't know. But like I don't know how to compare, how to describe my level.
Do you dream in Russian still, or do you dream in English, mixed?
Mixed.
That's something very interesting. Mixed.
For example, if I go like Segurança Social, Social Security Service, I am thinking on Portuguese because I have to set my brain to talk to them Portuguese. Sometimes if I go to meet my friends, English speakers, I try to think English. But in general, of course, it's Russian. I think 70%.
So
but I notice sometimes I cannot remember Russian word. For me, it's easier to say Portuguese or English. And I was, what? How can I say it Russian? Really? I don't remember.
Yeah, that happens after a while. Yeah, when you are abroad, you kind of build your own language. That's how I feel after more than 17 years. That I have my own way of speaking. It's hybrid, and sometimes when I talk Portuguese with Portuguese people, I'm thinking in English and then translating it into Portuguese. But that's not real Portuguese, It's something else. It doesn't make much sense to them. And they stare at me like, that sounds a bit weird, And when I was learning English on the beginning, well, not exactly learning English, but using English on a daily basis, I was mostly translating for Portuguese. And that was not English either, It was some strange combination. And yeah, that's part of being abroad. Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything you don't like about Portugal?
Bureaucracy. It's too long. And sometimes I I even think that what they are doing there, like people in finances,
Mhm.
physically, why they
Yes.
are there if they don't, they are not helpful. Sometimes you you come to ask about help, like please help me to pay
Mhm.
you. They are la 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 la. So this I don't like. But I don't know how does it work in Russia, for example. How does it work in Ukraine, in other countries? So, but it's just what can I say that I don't like. That's it.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
rest I like. I like people. I like wine. I like the weather,
What? The
vi-
weather. Yeah.
vibe,
Mm.
everything. Ocean, comedy, food.
Yeah. Food. Yeah. 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 I guess people. It's a key factor because that's something that you cannot change. They are the way they are, and you need to deal with them in the best possible way. So it makes a whole lot of difference if you can get along, with the culture, with the ethics, how they interact with foreigners, and how are they prepared to welcome um, other individuals. That's a key factor. Like that's one of the things I like very much in Ireland. Like I barely feel a foreigner. The fact that I speak the language, the fact
Mhm.
that I can communicate with everyone, and they are open to listen to me and to know who am I. That's very very important. Like I feel part of the community, and that's a big plus. I don't feel that much excluded, but at the same time, I have the benefit of not being one of them. What I mean by that is, if I want to walk away because I'm not that familiar with the topic, I always have the excuse not being a foreign. Let's say some, I don't know, political topic. I don't always know what it's about, and I'm not always on the mood. And because I'm not Irish, I can just say, "Sorry, guys, I have nothing to say," so I can just go back to my thoughts and be happy.
Mhm. Yeah.
It's a big thing. Yeah, yeah. Let me just ask you one more thing about Russia and the war, if and if you want to share something about it. So there was this guy, this Putin uh, opposition guy, who died like a week ago.
Yeah.
I don't know much about it, and no one knows apparently the circumstances. He died. Uh, is Was it a surprise for you, or was it expected? What's your take on that one?
Unfortunately, it was expected that he will not let him live, even in the prison.
Hmm.
He, Vladimir Putin, for everyone in Russia, I don't know, like for everyone. If of course in Russia there is lots of people who are on his side, right, and they don't believe that some people can be killed by him, but
Hmm.
we are all of us people who can think. We know that it was just another crime and big one, and he shows
Hmm.
that he's just he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah, that's scary, isn't it? That like if you think different from the government, like
Hmm.
your life is at stake. You know, that's very scary.
Yes, it's scary, and Russia was always scary. Even me, when I used to live in Moscow, to just to walk close to policemen, you already
Hmm.
have this feeling that they can just take you and to say that you are uh, you did this, but you didn't. And you cannot do anything with that.
Yeah,
That's how it works in Russia, really. Not everywhere, not every day, but it is. So it's here in Portugal. When I walk close to the policemen, I feel proud that if something happened, they will help, even on the roads. I don't know how do you call the policemen who work on the
Yeah,
road.
just like
Yes,
looking after the
they are
drivers.
very helpful. They try to understand the both sides. That in my case in Russia, it doesn't work like that.
Yeah. Well, you are one of the first people telling me compliments about the Portuguese police. They are, but I understand your background because you come from Russia.
You know why?
But,
You know why? My first client here in Barreiro, it was policeman. He ordered
that's why.
portrait of him and his children, and how they look. The guys, they are looking good. They don't have big bellies. They are not fat. They are all fit. They are nice.
Sorry, I don't pay attention to that. It's not my taste. So
Okay.
No, but they are different. I understand. Like if I have to choose between trusting Portuguese police or Russian, I have no doubt I would trust the Portuguese. Not that I would be much there on their side, but if the options are those two, yeah, I go with the Portuguese police. Actually, I remember when I moved to Poland. I don't know what Poland is not Russia, but there are some things in common, and I wouldn't rely that much on the Polish police either. It was my, I don't know, first or second night. And I just went for a walk, I moved to Katowice, was not a big place, but still, there was some nightlife on a Thursday night, and I want to see how was it. So I was just walking to the main street, and I crossed a zebra, okay, and it was red, and immediately, like 3 or 5 policemen came towards me, and they didn't let me go anywhere. I was like, fuck, I'm in trouble. I just crossed a zebra, and they started shouting me in Polish. I had to tell them that I didn't understand the words, and eventually one, he could switch to English and say, you cannot do this here. This is Poland. You cannot just cross zebra. And I'm going to charge you this and that. And I say, sorry, I'm new to the country. And I didn't notice it was red. And I had to almost beg not to be fined. And eventually they let me go. But I really felt that they were taking advantage, of being the authority and of me being new to the country.
Not all of them like this, let's say, in Russia, but mostly, unfortunately. Yeah. Especially, I'm telling just about my experience. I don't want to blame Russia because we have lots of good things in Russia.
Like what, for instance? Let's talk about the good things now, not just be negative. What's the bright side of the Russian nation?
Mostly, we are Russian people. We are really kind, and we are really friendly. We like. I will say. I don't know how to explain it. Sorry. I will say just about my experience, okay? That in my family, it was always like this, that if you are making new friends, you can easily invite them to your house, just for dinner or for lunch. It's okay. You don't have to be with that person to meet somewhere first time, but no, maybe it's just our small city. We didn't have lots of places to go out, like the restaurants, so we didn't have that culture, to go out. So it was always like this. Our homes were full of people, But
Yeah.
not in each family it's like this. Maybe it's just because my mom, she's from Ukraine, and she used to always invite people to have some parties.
Mm.
Like not parties, just
Yeah,
dinners.
some gatherings, and
Yeah. So we are pretty kind. We are deep. Uh, we are helpful. Like if the person needs uh, to talk about some problems, we are not saying, okay, so you can go to your psychotherapist. No, we will listen to the person. We will try to help. We will try to give some advice. We will just even be silent. So we are like this. This is good things about us.
very much, no, very much, and it resonates with my experience with Russian people that when they are on your side, they are on your side no matter what. They will stand for you. They will listen to what's going on in your life, and they will help you in the ways that you wouldn't imagine. From most people. Like I remember many months ago, I was renting a place here, and I didn't have enough cash to give to the landlord, and I was just moving in, and so I had to pay not only the first month, but also the deposit. Okay, and there was a limit in how much you could withdraw with your debit card, in the ATM. So I messaged a few friends, I rang a few others, and some didn't answer, some didn't reply to my message. And my Russian friend, he didn't hesitate. He just told me, I meet you at the corner and I give you like 400, 500 euros, and no issue at all. He was there with the cash. He went to the ATM, gave me the money, and said Merry Christmas. I'll never forget that one.
Transaction
Yeah,
completed.
exactly. I also remember when I gave him back the money, we were in a pub. It wasn't, the Irish pubs. They are not. They tend to be dark, and it's not always easy to see what you have in your hands other than the beer. So we met in the pub. I gave him back the, I don't know, 400, 500 quid, can't remember. And he went to a place where there was more light and was counting the money. I'm like, I'm your friend. I'm not cheating anybody. For him was normal. Because I could have forgot, like, let's say, 50 euro or something. He didn't do that because he didn't trust me. It was just normal. And I didn't bother because he saved my life, in a crucial moment. And he's like that. He's like that. He can be absent in the sense he wouldn't text me for months. But if I write him, he will reply. He'll be very short on his WhatsApp message. And I, like, on the beginning, I was thinking that he was upset with me, that maybe the last time we met, I said something outrageous because I have this big mouth and sometimes I talk too much. So I was thinking, maybe I just said something that I shouldn't, because he's just replying, sure, yes, no, what time, And then when we meet, it's so good, He's the same outgoing and friendly as you were saying. Just not everyone is used to the Russian culture, so it takes time.
But nowadays, I cannot imagine how is it right now in Siberia, because also we have big cities in Siberia. We can, now everything is different. I left Siberia when I was 17 years old. Half of my life already. So
Yeah. So you spend more time outside of your hometown than in your own. Yeah. That's
yes,
something.
I
Yeah.
used to live in Moscow maybe 14 years or 13, and then now Portugal.
Yeah. Yeah. That's some journey. Some journey. Do you miss travel? Just going to different places over the world? Because I know you did a fair amount of journeys, not only in Europe, but into the Americas, to Asia, and now you are trapped. How are you dealing with your travel bug?
I traveled here in Portugal.
Hmm.
I know Portugal maybe better
Better than me maybe.
than
Probably.
yes, some people. Yeah.
Hmm.
We've been visiting so many places here. So even recently we went to Madeira. It was my
Oh,
second
nice.
time.
See, I haven't been there.
Really?
I haven't been there. No,
Never.
ever.
I can tell you that this is the best and the beautifulest place I ever saw in my life.
Number one.
For me, Madeira, it's even more beautiful than Azores.
Hmm.
Yes, I even have goosebumps.
Yeah. I mean, I heard a lot of good things. Just when I lived in Portugal, unfortunately, there were no low-cost flights, so it was quite tough for us to visit the islands. And to go there, you need to make a budget. Prepare yourself maybe for a few months, put some money on the side. So it's complicated. Like going to Madeira for us was almost like going to the US, which is
Oh,
crazy
wow.
because it's the same country. Now you can go Ryanair like for I don't know €50 or 100, and there are much more accommodation options.
I can tell
Here's the
you,
secret coming.
we bought tickets to Madeira in a Black Friday. You know that in November or January for go there and go back.
Yeah,
€52 for 2 person.
€52 for 2 persons. I mean, it was 26
13,
each.
yes, €13 one ticket.
That's very cheap. Yeah, that's very cheap.
Yes, but we lost.
Was it
We
huh?
lost our flight there.
You lost your flight.
Yeah. So I don't know
How much did you have to pay on top of that?
Just to go there over than 300.
300 for the two.
Just
So you cannot brag about the deal after
yeah.
that.
But it was funny adventure.
Well, you still enjoyed Madeira, after that.
Oh,
So,
yes, I've been there first time 7 years ago. I was impressed, really, and then now it's. I even
do
when
it.
first time,
Yeah.
you know that Madeira has the most dangerous airport
Yes, yeah.
in
I heard
Europe.
about it.
Yes,
Yes.
and I remember that when we were leaving Madeira last time, I've been there 7 years ago in 2016. I don't remember, or 18. No, it doesn't matter. So it was a huge, how to say, turbulence
Turbulence, yeah.
when we were taking off.
Mm.
And my thoughts were about my phone with the pictures. I took my phone like this. Like if we go down to the water, I have to save my phone, not my life, just my phone, because there is amazing pictures from Madeira.
Yes, that's what I want to ask. What was
Yeah.
in your phone that you were so concerned about? The pretty pictures from Madeira.
People were worried. What to do now? Where is my phone? So I have to keep it.
Or
Like
people
this.
trying to save their babies while trying to save your phone.
No, like this. So Madeira is beautiful.
Yeah. But then who would post those pictures on Instagram if people have access to your phone but don't know the password? So yeah,
So
it
even people
is.
from this video, you can go to my Instagram profile, and there is stories, actual stories with Madeira. Oof, oof. There is nice shoots.
Yeah. So that's how I want to close this episode. Like I'm gonna put in excuse me, in the description one link to your website where people can see the portraits you do with wine, and they can order. Are you shipping worldwide or just in Europe?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. Okay.
Mhm.
Good. So regardless where you are, guys, you can get your portrait done with wine by Catherine. No need to get a bottle. All you need is send a picture of you. She will make you handsome. You see, I'm not handsome, but she made me handsome on the portrait. So it's possible you can be handsome. Just need Catherine's magic, and she will do it. And you need to send her the money. Very important as well. So portrait and the money, and you will get a portrait like the one I showed you. And if you have a cat, make sure that the cat don't have access to the portrait, and once unless you want some other version, but that's another story. So I'm going to put that on the description. I'm going to put also a link to your Instagram account that people can see the photos from Madeira and other artistic stuff you have there, and they can get to know you better, because I think it will be a benefit for people and for you. So that's what I'm going to do afterwards. And I want to thank you for participating in this episode. I think it was very cool to go through your journey. I think we could be here forever. Maybe we'll need a few more glasses of wine or bottles. And yeah, maybe next time we can do it by video with wine.
Yeah, we will. But not in the morning, please. I don't like to drink in the morning.
Ah, no worries. We can do it. We can do it anytime. No
Okay.
worries. Right. Okay. Thanks very much, and have a good one.
You.
Take care.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Ciao.